Well, well, hello everyone that's going to be listening in to this recording, either now or in the future as part of this CD series. Look, I've got to say that I'm absolutely thrilled to be introducing this next person to you all. His name is Linton Harris, and he's the CEO of Sudden Impact Entertainment Group. Which you're going to hear a little bit more about in a few moments. The person behind that is Linton Harris. Welcome to the call, Linton.
Yeah, thanks very much, Dean. Good to be here.
Thank you. And for everyone, look, just a very brief background on Linton. He was born and raised in Adelaide in South Australia, moved to Sydney early on in his career and became the marketing director for the Sydney Swans, a very famous Australian rules football team. And what was unique about that was that during Linton's role there, he oversaw the Sydney Swans become, or was a pivotal part of the Sydney Swans becoming the first privately owned football team here in Australia. So to be at the forefront of that marketing push was something very unique and very bold for the Australian landscape at the time. And while for many people that would probably be one heck of an achievement in their lifetime, it really just served as another stepping stone for Linton, who then went on to move to New York City, where he founded the Sudden Impact Entertainment Group. And I could probably mention a little bit about it, but I wouldn't do as much justice as Linton would himself. So what I'd like to do now is to hand over to you, Linton, and just for you to give all the listeners just a little bit of insight into how the Sudden Impact Entertainment Group came along, and what have been some of the milestone projects that you've created and delivered onto the world stage. So over to you.
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, well, listen, the Sudden Impact Entertainment Company, was my, I guess, vision, or secondary vision, I guess I should say, because, sorry, did you have to edit that dog?
No, not at all. Carry on. That's an additional bonus for all the listeners.
Sudden Impact, I went to New York based on an idea, a single idea. The company being very much secondary, the idea being primary. The idea was to create a Halloween show in New York based on the success of the Radio City Christmas show, which is very, very famous. I'd been visiting New York on a speaking tour. I was still working in Sydney, and I said to a mate of mine in New York, who I only knew one guy and his wife, I said, someone should do a Halloween show in New York, like Radio City's Christmas show. And he thought it was a great idea, and I said, well, all right, why don't I do it? So I quit my job back in Sydney at the time when I came back. It was back in 1992, I think. And I gave up a very, cool job. I was marketing director of 8 radio stations at the time. Had the, Bondi apartment overlooking the beach. Life was great, and decided to have a crack in the US. I'd won a bunch of awards in radio internationally, so I had the confidence, I think, to at least engage on a bigger stage. And then I had what I thought was a great idea. Now, I left Australia on Valentine's Day '93, so very hard to forget. And because of the time difference, arrived in New York on the same day. And being an optimist, I thought I would get the Halloween show up that October. It was only 6 months. Ironically, obviously, it took a couple of years, but my vision was very singular, and I wanted it to be big. So I knocked on a lot of doors, and long story short, opened at Madison Square Garden in October of '96 with a show I created called Madison Square Garden, and we went on to play for 4 years in New York. It became a Harvard case study. It was very much the groundbreaking show, and got me sort of started into my US adventure, which has now lasted 20 years.